All right, I'm live. Pulling out my laptop so I can see the chat. All right, I'm using the iPad today as I've been using it, not because, whoops, well, that's not what I wanted. Not because not because I'm trying to demonstrate only on the God damn it. Not because I'm trying to only demonstrate on the iPad, but because I don't waste as much paper this way. It's a lot faster for me to demonstrate doodles when I'm doing it this way rather than, hey Deb, rather than doing it on paper. But you can do it on paper. I'm just using this as a more efficient tool. Hi, Kim. So, hey, Jamie. So for people watching on the replay, today I'm going to be doing about half an hour of demonstrating some summertime doodles. And when I say summertime, I'm mainly kind of thinking of like the beach and like some of the food you might eat at the beach. I can do another one in July with like camping if that's something you're interested in, or some other sorts of like travel. But to be perfectly honest, as we get ready to go to Bend to visit my sister, one of our favorite things to do is to spend time at the river there, like on the water, chilling out in the sun. And that's what I have on my mind. So doing like water, beachy type related shit is sort of what's jumping out at me right now. Yes, Emily. I'm also very, very congested. My throat's super sore. My allergies have been beating my ass with a fucking club this week. It's been so bad. And my husband said I've been mouth breathing all night because I'm so congested, which is just making my throat sore. So he's had to like shake me because I've been like so snarfly and snoring, which is probably too much information. But yeah, I'm feeling the pain of allergies right now. So anyway, hi Alicia. I'm not sure if you're Alicia or Alicia. I had a friend in high school who was Alicia, but most of the people I've known have been Alicias. So you may phonetically spell it should you want to in the chat. It's your call though. It's your name. I'd rather pronounce it the way you have us pronounce it. Hi Betsy. You almost broke the pencil once. Oh, yeah. I see. I've never broken this pencil, but I have. I've worried because I've seen like that sort of, that like you can see the impression your heavy-handedness is making on the glass, and that like where it kind of like does that like color distorted thing. That stresses me out. Not gonna lie. Alicia. Okay. Hey Pamela. Hi JDK. Who's JDK? You can tell me your actual name in the comments. I feel like I know this already, but I may not. Hey, Denise. All right, so I'm going to start right now, and we're going to start with some summary foods. Oh, Julie? Oh, my God. Okay. Hi, Julie. I feel like I did know that. Maybe I was wrong. Okay. Okay. I'm also living the wild life right now. I got a glass of ginger ale because my stomach's been upset on my desk with my laptop here and my iPad here. I'm living dangerously. So we're going to start with some summary foods because, hey, Allison, we're going to start with some summary foods because because of my allergies, like, it sounds weird, but like when you're coughing so much and your throat is sore, you don't want to eat that much. And I've been like really wanting to start eating summertime foods, and I'm not eating much of anything right now because my throat is so sore from all my mouth breathing I'm doing from the fucking allergies. So summer food is delicious. Yes. Hi, Kim. I think I said hi to you already. It's been, like I said, I'm on a little bit of allergy medication and very little sleep for the last few days. So, and the air conditioning's off. I did the video I put up today when I was editing it. I just left most of it in, but I stumble over my words, or I say like things that are really not grammatically correct, or like not even close to grammatically correct a whole bunch in the video that went up today. And it was because I filmed yesterday and it was 90 something degrees outside, and I left the AC off so it wouldn't be in the background. And I think I was so tired and so hot by the end of it that I was like maybe partly delirious. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and start drawing. So the summer food for me, Pamela, is the things you eat when it's hot. And a lot of them are things you eat outside. So my favorite summer food, I have two favorite summer foods. The first one is any sort of ice cream novelty, like a popsicle. An easy popsicle to draw is to draw basically, this shape can be so many things. This shape can be a popsicle if you want to. This shape can be a ghost, like a spooky ghost. You know, it can be a boogie board if you want to. It can, I'm not sure if that made it a boogie board or not. There's a lot of things you can do with a shape like this. You can actually turn this shape into a flip-flop, which I'll show in a few minutes. But my favorite thing to do with this shape is to add a little stem onto the end of it, and then to just draw some like wavy lines to signify like melting or frosting or whatever you want to do. And that creates a basic popsicle. Popsicles to me are like summertime in a nutshell. Oh, I see what you're saying, Pamela. So you can also, if you wanted to, if you were using a pencil to draw and you wanted to erase some of this, I need my eraser to be bigger though. Holy crap. Okay. If you want to erase some of that and switch, you can always draw in like a bite mark as well. And if you wanted to make it 3D or like give it a little bit of dimension, just draw these little lines out everywhere. And like pick one side. And that kind of gives you a little dimensional situation. Not a very suave looking one, but you get the idea, right? It like sort of makes it look 3D. But a lot of the times when I doodle, I don't bother with the 3D just because I feel like it is more of a pain in the ass than I want. Summertime on a stick. Hi, Sarah. That is exactly a good way to refer to a popsicle. Now, you can draw different kinds of popsicles. If you want to draw those kind that have the 2 sticks that you break in half, and you can get the gigantic bag of them for super cheap. My parents used to do that because they were fucking broke all the time. So just draw like, kind of like a C, like a little bit in the middle, and then another C. It's really uneven, but you know what I mean. Now that I don't like the look of, so let's try this another way. The other thing you could do is draw my hand, give it kind of a bump, and then draw like a line down the middle, but don't completely divide it, and then draw, and this looks a little bit more, and then you can also draw the melting on it as well if you want to, and that starts to give you the idea of those like break apart popsicles. Jamie, you are super right. Like buying kids the cheap. That's why I get Otter Pops for the kids, because Otter Pops, they don't take up a lot of space in your fridge, and my kids will just go through them when it's hot, and I'm fine with that. So popsicles are one of my favorite summer foods. Another one of my favorite foods in the summer is corn dogs. I fucking love corn dogs. Now, the corn dogs you buy in the box from the store, whatever, like I'll eat those if I need a corn dog, if I'm feeling corn dog. But to me, the corn dogs that are life are the ones that you get at like the fair. And the fair to me also symbolizes summertime. So corn dogs at the fair, excellent. Disneyland corn dogs are amazing, but you know, the fair is a little bit more accessible for me than Disneyland. So, oh, I know those popsicles you're talking about, Jamie, the ones that are like, the ones I like are the ones that are like, they have the different flavors. There's like the strawberries and cream, and there's like the rice and milk or something. And then there's, I don't know, some other ones, and they sell them in like a freaking like bin in like the bodega stores that are here in town. And my kids and I will wander down there and get those because they're super cheap and they're so good. But Sonic, oh, I did not realize that. The closest Sonic is a little bit of a drive. So, hey, Nicole. But I'm going to draw a corn dog. Draw yourself a nice long oval. Give yourself a skinny stick, because corn dogs usually have skinny sticks. And you can even give it like a little bit of like a line here to represent, you know, like where the stick kind of gets burnt when the corn dog is cooking. And then if you really want to like hammer home that it's a corn dog, draw a wavy line and then just sort of follow the same wavy line to represent like mustard or whatever else. And you can also do like some little dots to sort of symbolize the dark kind of color of a corn. I really want a corn dog now. Corn dogs are my favorite when they're good. The hot dog on, is that what you mean, hot dog on a stick? Yeah, I love hot dog on a stick. So Tina, if you don't, yeah, I'm going to draw. So this is the dog. If like imagine that's a hot dog. Now I know it's a really wonky hot dog. They dip it in corn batter, like this corn bread type batter, and then they dip it in a fryer. And I have some actually. Hold on. I actually have some in my freezer right now. These are corn dogs, but these are not as delicious as the ones that you can buy. Those are not as good as the ones you can get from the fair hot dog on a stick. Hot dog on a stick corn dogs are fucking amazing. But those corn dogs are so, and the lemonaded hot dog on a stick also is on point. It's so good. It is so good. Emily, I've never gotten a home fryer because I'm terrified of setting my house on fire. You would think that that is a weird terror to have, but it's not. My dad set our like kitchen on fire once when he was cooking, and ever since then I've been horrified by it. Okay. Sarah's not wrong. Trader Joe's has Trader Joe's maybe has a really good meatless corn dog as well. I think maybe they have the Morningstar one. I don't remember. But I had it once because my cousin is vegan and she was making all vegan food, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. It was actually pretty good. So, all right. Anyway, so then related to corn dogs, of course, are hot dogs. So, to draw a hot dog, I kind of draw like an oval, but I give it sort of a curve. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, with doodling, you're not trying to draw it exactly. You're just trying to get the idea of it. And so then you draw another curve that follows it to be the dog. And then you go in a little bit and draw a final curve to be the other side of the bun. And then again, like the corn dog, you can draw yourself a little amount of mustard or something on it. Or you could also do like the cuts that some people put in the hot dogs, or whatever the case may be. Or you can draw all the other toppings you want. I'm plain. When I have hot dogs, I don't have them very often, but when I do, they're almost always either going to be the Hebrew National Kosher hot dogs or the all beef, all natural hot dogs from Trader Joe's, because it's not that I'm like anti the meat dogs that are like made of whatever meat. It's because I have texture issues, and the Hebrew National ones and the Trader Joe's all natural ones are the only ones that don't have like the weird texture to me. I don't mind the weird texture in a corn dog, but in a hot dog, I need it to be burned. I am somebody who has to have a barbecued burnt hot dog. Some people are fine with them being boiled. My mother, if you want to know something nasty, I'm gonna draw this so you can understand how nasty. She would take Wonder Bread, right? And she would take regular hot dogs, not cooked, out of the package from the fridge. And she would take that hot dog and she would cut it lengthwise in half and then lay these hot dog halves on the Wonder Bread with like a squirt of mustard, and then put another piece of Wonder Bread on it and make a sandwich. Dude, no, I refuse. That was one of my mom's go-to lunches. And I was like, no, I'm not going to eat that. No, it's so nasty. No, I'd rather just eat the mustard on the bread than eat cold, uncooked meat, like 69 cents a package hot dogs. Yeah, no, I can't. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I don't think a hot dog's a sandwich. But the one I just described is a sandwich, but a regular hot dog to me in a bun, no. Okay, here's a real question. Is a hamburger a sandwich? That's a riddle for you. Yeah. So, no. Okay, anyway. And I guess we could draw a hamburger, because hamburgers are fairly summery as well. Hamburgers are fun, but they take you can make as many layers on a hamburger as you want. I usually start from the bottom up. That's how I start hamburgers, with layers. You can start from the top down or the bottom up, whichever works better for you. I start from the bottom up. So here's the bottom bun. Fun fact, my sister hated sesame seeds, so she would always ask for 2 bottom buns whenever we went to a fast food place. So then I'll add some layer of something, usually like the burger itself, or maybe a layer of cheese. We'll start with the burger. I give it kind of a like a bumpy kind of look because it's sort of representing meat or whatever. Then I might draw like a melted bit of cheese and just like have a few spots where it like melts down onto the burger to be the cheese. Then I'll draw like a tomato or something. I don't actually eat tomatoes, but we'll just pretend that layer's a tomato. It can be whatever you want it to be. Then we'll draw some lettuce, which is just like some, and then you can keep adding more layers if you want to, or you can add your top bun, which you just make it round, and then you add your sesame seeds to it. I think my top bun's a little bit too tall there, but you can see how you can kind of build a hamburger just by making layer by layer. None of those look like exactly what the layers are, but it gives you a chance to start like building up. All right. So going dessert wise also, ice cream for me in the summer, you can draw, again, you can start for drawing ice cream where you want to have a single scoop. You would just draw like kind of a round, but you cut it off at the bottom and then you add just like a blob underneath. And this could become a lot of things. Again, this could become like some kind of like a sea creature, like a octopus or something. It could be a lot of things. But if you're making this into ice cream, this is your basic ice cream. Now you can add a cone here and just add some X's to simulate the waffle. Or if you want to make it many scoops, you start with the top scoop. Let's move that up. And then you just draw it again underneath. And then again underneath. And then you add your cone. You see how you can just keep stacking the ice cream? The trick with doing stacked things, whether it's ice cream or whether it's hamburgers, is that you figure out where you want the most obvious part to be. Like, so for this ice cream, I wanted the top one to be the one that came out the most, so I'd start at the top and work down. If I thought that the cone would stick out over the ice cream, I'd start with the cone and then work my way up. So you just need to pick what side you're going to go for. Generally speaking, unless you're doing some kind of like lettering or something, when you're doodling something that has layers, I almost always try to pick either the top or the bottom or one side or another side and work my way over. I very rarely start in the middle and work my way out because to me, it doesn't create that stacked look if it doesn't have a starting spot. Yeah, watermelon is on my list because Jess, of summer fruits, my favorite summer fruit by far is the delicious, and very easy to draw. So you draw a circle or an oval, whatever shape you want, cut it in half, then draw this inside to be the rind. If you're coloring it, you can make this green. Like if you wanted to make it colorful, you can make this green. Except that's not working. And it's really bright green. And then you can make this red, and that's the watermelon. And then all you have to do is add some seeds. Now you can just draw lines like this if you want to for seeds. If you're drawing bigger like I am, I'd suggest drawing seeds that have like kind of an oval shape to them. And you want to kind of put them out in like a pattern, sort of. You don't want to just willy-nilly put them there. You can, but you want to try and make it look awesome. Now this is one piece, like a slice of watermelon. You could also do like a triangle of watermelon, like one of these wedges. So you just make a triangle shape and then you make the bottom rounded. Then there's your rind, and then you draw in your seeds to make it watermelon, and you can add colors if you want to. Now, if you want to draw a whole watermelon, you can draw like this, like a big oval or a big circle, and then some like wavy lines to represent the watermelon. Now to color this in, because I don't think this looks much like a watermelon unless you add color. To color this in, my suggestion would be to use two greens. Use a light green for the stripes and a darker green for the bulk of the watermelon. And that will make it look more like a watermelon. You use a couple of different colors of green. Now, I mean, you can do yellow watermelons. You can do watermelons with like that kind of fun fact. if you see a watermelon that has that yellow like bruise looking spot on it, that's because that's the section of the watermelon that was on the ground when it was growing. And so that that watermelon, that's the part that wasn't exposed to the sun. And for picking a good watermelon, what I learned at Trader Joe's is if you pick up a watermelon and it feels heavy for its size, like you pick it up and you think it's going to be one weight and it's a lot heavier feeling than what you think it's going to be if it surprises you, that watermelon likely is very juicy and probably very good. That was how I picked my best watermelons when I was working at Trader Joe's and customers asked me to help them. That's my tip on picking good watermelons. Avocado, bacon, or watermelon. I'm okay with both. Try both of those, Julie. Another favorite fruit of mine in the summer is strawberries. I love strawberries. So to draw a strawberry, imagine you're drawing, it could either be like a heart, but with no, like with the divot in the heart being a lot less, strong, or it could be like a rounded triangle. It just depends on how you look at it. And then you just draw a little stem. And then I like to draw these lines to represent like the strawberry seeds. And that's a strawberry. They're fun to add vines to as well if you want to. And then, as we all learned at the Erin Condren seasonal surprise box, the pineapples are the fruit of summer. I actually love pineapples to eat, but only if they are grilled. I used to love raw pineapple. I would eat it like just out of the jar when it's just in its own, like in the can when it's in its own juice, like the crushed pineapple. But raw pineapple at this point is so acidic it makes my mouth sting. But I love it when it's grilled. Like if it's on like kebabs or just on like sticks and you stick it on the grill with like whatever else you're grilling, like we'll put like onions and peppers and all those things. But Kim, that pineapple quote, like I've heard it so many times. Anyway, draw yourself like a very squared off oval, still rounded, but squared off. And then like layering, here we're starting from the bottom. I'm just going to draw some like ridges, some ruffles, whatever you want to call it, and just work your way up because isn't the pineapple the crown that stands tall or whatever the case may be. And you can try to add some more on top if you want to. And then you just make your X's to stand in for like, now I'm doing this very sloppy. You could easily draw this and like draw some lines like this and then make X's this way and have it look more pineapple-y, but I'm just being sloppy as fuck right now. But this is the general idea. Draw some kind of an oval-y situation with some kind of a hatched situation and then draw fluffy ass crown on top. And then you will be trendy. Pineapples are the new succulent. And then finally, the last thing I think I would really sort of going back to what we were talking about with hot dog on a stick is drawing like lemonade. To me, lemonade is a very summery drink. And you can draw it in all sorts of different ways, but the two ways I'm going to show you are how to draw. And this could be anything. It doesn't have to be lemonade. I'm just using lemonade as the example. To draw like a picture, often what I'll do is I'll start with like a narrow oval, right? Very narrow oval. This is meant to be like the like hole at the top of the picture. And then to go around, I'm just drawing another oval, except I'm going to point it at the side to be like this, the spout of the picture. And then I'm going to bring it in like this. And then I'm going to bring it around to this bottom area to make like a picture. Again, I wouldn't be as sloppy if I was doing this for real. And then I'm going to draw the handle here. And that's your basic picture. Again, you don't have to be so sloppy, but you sort of, and you can make different shapes. Some pictures are shaped more like this. It just depends on what you feel like drawing. And then to make the fluid that's in the picture, you just draw another oval around the top here, making sure that the edges of the oval touch the sides, but don't like go outside of the sides of the outside the picture. And then to draw some, like if you were going to color it, this would be where the color would be, but you can add some ice cubes, not the wrapper, the cubes. You add yourself a couple of squares in here to be ice cubes, and then you just give them some 3D, if you know how to draw like a 3D square, you know? And this represents the ice cubes. And so that's how you make like a drink in a pitcher. Now, if you want to make it lemonade, then one way to do that is to The easiest way is to either draw lemon slices in the liquid, but my favorite way to do it is to actually draw them on the outside of the pitcher. So what I do is I just draw a slice and I have it going through, so that's a really shitty version of it. I'd make it bigger so you can see it. But you draw like a lemon slice, or you can draw slices in the water or in the fluid to represent like the fruit that's floating in the drink. And then to draw a glass of lemonade, start by drawing you can draw your lemon to make it easier. So here's my lemon wedge, right? Now I'm going to draw a glass. That's what I want to do. No, that's not what I wanted to do either. I don't know why I'm losing my marbles with this shit. Don't pay attention to me. It's been a long day. And then you just draw your drink inside the glass. Now, generally speaking, if drawing on the lemon wedge and everything else is not working for you, then just draw a glass of something, oval, bring it down, do your other oval, add some ice cubes in it. And this could be a glass of whatever you want. You just color the liquid in. This is so bad. Color the liquid in, and that will help you identify what kind of drink it is. Anyway, so now I'm going to move kind of over to some beachy type shit to kind of round this out. I was going to try and be done by now, but since I spent so much time rambling, I'm going to give it like 10 more minutes. So we'll do some quick drawing of some beach shit. One of my favorite, oh, s'mores. Oh, God. Okay. S'mores are another layer. Start at the top. Make yourself a graham cracker. Remember what I said about doing layers? So this is the top. That's a graham cracker, right? So then I'm going to add the piece of chocolate. And what I want is another square, another flat rectangle like this, but kind of turned a little bit. So I'm going to draw it like this. Like imagine drawing another rectangle. Now you can have this start to melt down a little bit if you want to. Now then for the marshmallow, I usually just draw like a squished out situation because, and this works so much better when you have color. When you don't have color, it's harder to tell what it is. But ultimately, like this should be brown for chocolate. These should be like a light brown for, let me see here. Let me add some color, see if I can do this without it looking really janky. So then this will be the chocolate. Oops. That's the chocolate. Whoops. All right, so there's the chocolate. And then this will represent the toasted marshmallow. And so I'm going to do like a lighter kind of, not white because it's toasted, so it's got brown. And then what you could always do is take a little bit more brown and like add a little bit more brown to it to kind of like make it look burnt. And then you just use a different kind of brown for the, well, you get what I'm saying. It's for the graham crackers. And then you can always go and add in like the little marks from like graham crackers to really make it look, if that makes sense though. Like you see how I'm just layering? That layering principle works for so many of these different like food items. Now my favorite thing to draw for the summertime, because it is, I've had to draw it so many times for Trader Joe's, I've gotten used to it, is a palm tree. All right. So to do my simple, this is Cindy's easy palm tree method. Easiest palm. You can make them so much more realistic than this. You can actually doodle them more realistic than this. But if you want to draw a palm tree and you are intimidated as fuck by drawing a palm tree, here is my easy method. Start with 3 circles next to each other like this. Those are your coconuts. 5. Make these curving lines that come outwards. Those are going to be your palm fronds or whatever the hell they are. And then for your trunk, draw down, start skinny, then come out a little further. See how I started skinny, came out a little further? And then you can just make yourself some sand or some shit to be the bottom. You can always add some lines here to make this look like a trunk. And to do the fronds, all you have to do, you can just make it easy and just go out like this. But I actually prefer to make them jagged. So I just go like this, just kind of bump them a little bit. And I go from side to side so those bumps are kind of going in the same direction. You can make them more zigzaggy if you're comfortable with that. I just don't want them to look smooth. And there is your simple palm tree. Easiest palm tree in the world to draw. You can draw this if you're going to go in like a bullet journal. This makes a great like header. Like you can write like, you know, grab yourself a brush pen or something and write like, I don't know, something hella twee like vacay. What the fuck would people write vacay? Yeah, because you're standing tall like a pineapple, you know, and then you have yourself a little bullet journal header. Basically like holly for Christmas. Exactly, Emily. Like if you remove the stem, and what I usually do for holly is do the berries bigger and less leaves. Does that make sense? For holly, it's the same, this concept, but can you see me right now? Okay, my thing cut out for a second. So, okay, cool. It like told me it was unable to connect for a minute there, but then it came right back on. All right. Beach balls, easy as fuck. Now you could draw a basic beach ball like this, and that is easy as fuck. However, this could also be, you know, a chocolate orange or something else. If you want to draw an easy as fuck beach ball that looks slightly more pro than that, start with your circle, then pick another place to draw the top of the beach ball and draw an oval. But you want it to be like pointing somewhere. Like this could be an olive, this could be a lot of things. Pick a spot for the top of your beach ball. I like to have it up near the top of the ball somewhere and facing in a direction. Then, to make your stripes, you just bring down some curved lines. Oops. And there's your beach ball, right there. And like you, again, if you wanted to color this, you could fill in some of the stripes with black. It's not gonna work. You wanna make sure you have a certain number of stripes, but you know, like, anyway. So that's how I draw a beach ball. Simple, easy peasy, yeah. So, then when I was saying before about making a flip-flop with that same kind of oval, like when we did the popsicle, I hate drawing flip-flops. I'm going to tell you right now, I hate drawing flip-flops. I don't think I've ever been able to draw one that's somewhat realistic looking and have it not look awkward as crap. And I've had to draw them before, not just for freelance work, but at Trader Joe's, every summer I'd have to draw a fucking flip-flop and I'd hate it with every bone of my body. So the simpler flip-flop to me is the better. So to do that, you just do a V. Oh, this is red, but whatever. Do a V. Then do a V right on the inside that's the same size. And curve off the bottoms. And then draw your same oval situation, but just have it go underneath the V. That is the flip-flop that I am willing to draw, because I hate drawing flip-flops. But they are very summer, especially for me. I wear them all. You think I wear them so much. An easy boat, simple sailboat type shit. Start with a line. That's too high. I'm gonna do it right here. Right here. Do a very like shallow kind of oval underneath it. You can even add a stripe or two if you want to. Maybe some portholes, whatever those things are, whatever you want to draw. Draw somewhere not in the center. Draw it a little bit off center. Draw a mast. Then from the mast, draw a triangle. And what I like to do is do one triangle big and then one triangle smaller, which makes a really nice looking little boat. Here's a little flag on top. But if you, again, want to take it to slightly the next level, all you have to do is draw a curved line on the inside of each of those triangles to make the sails look like they're kind of blowing in the wind. That one detail there makes it look a little bit more like you tried. I'm okay with not trying if you don't want to. But I will say that that particular little trick did help quite a bit with me. So, um, I'll also show you really quick how to draw like goggles. So this is kind of like a rectangle. Hey Shannon, I'm almost done too. Your mom used to call those shoes thongs, so did my mom. But then I heard the thong song and about underwear, and I was like, I can't anymore. So this is like drawing like that same like rectangle, except you have like a divot in it. You want to just add a little bit of a divot. All right. Then you just trace around it again and maybe round it just a little bit more. And draw a few lines here to represent like the glass of the goggles. And then you can just draw a rounded line and another rounded line. And that kind of represents the strap. So if you were going to color this in, this area here would be blank because this would not have anything. But then if you want to like nail home the point of snorkeling, I've never been snorkeling, so this is all a guess. I start with like a little rectangle and then I work my way around and I create like a J. And then up here, put like a little situation to like represent where the air comes from. And then here, I'm pretty sure the mouth things that you use are sort of like mouth shaped. So that gives you like a snorkely look. And there's you got like goggles and snorkels. Bucket and shovel, Jamie. Okay. Buckets are fairly easy. Pails, I've shown you guys before with cleaning supplies. Start with an oval, go down. But a sand pail generally has a little bit more of an inside, like it's usually more like that. And then for the pail rim, when I'm doing like a metal pail for painting, I just do a single thin rim. But when it's a pail for like for kids, like to go playing in the sand, I usually try and thicken the pail arm because generally those are those white ones. I usually try and add a rim. And then often I might do something like draw like a seashell, which is a way to show a seashell here. A simple seashell, bring up edges like this, then bring it down like this. Then put some lines and a line. And that looks more like a beach pail, right? Because you added those little details to make it look more beach related. When it's paint, I'll sometimes add like paint drizzling down the side of the can, but a paint can generally is more like this rather than that brought inwards. If you remember the pails that were like the ones you could buy at Target or Kmart or whatever, they always had like a cone, like almost like a really like mild cone shape. Dude, you guys, I'm telling you, the reason that I love doing these kinds of doodles, I am not like the master of detailed doodles. I've said this before and I'll always say this. For me, I have succeeded with the doodle if when you look at it, you know what it is. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to look at it and know what it is. You look at this, you know it's a pail to go to the beach because it has the seashell on it. Like that's those little details add on. You don't, like you said, Shannon, overcomplicating things. Sometimes you can wind up like having something you'd be okay with and then you overcomplicated it and you feel like you have to start over again. And for me, I have learned over the years to err on the side of simplicity rather than on the side of complicated when it comes to doodling. Can I add some beer cider bottles to that bucket? Oh my God. Yeah, let's see here. Damn it. Okay, here we go. For the beer cap, I like to add like those ridges to make it look like this is super janky looking bottle, but whatever. There you go. And then here's another one. We'll do it smaller. There's some wine. And then I'm gonna add some sand here. So there's some sand. And sand is always easy to do if you just add some like stippling to like represent the grains of sand. So there's the sand, the bucket's in the sand, right? And then so next to it, I wanna add a shovel. So I'm starting here like that, and I'm just bringing these in to this little skinny shovel handle. And then I'm gonna bring it out again and make it like a hole here. And then I'm gonna just draw the sand so that the shovel is stuck into the sand. And there's a shovel for you. Like you can draw the shovel on its own as well, but I almost always like to draw shovels in the sand because I feel like it gives you that vibe of the beach. You know what I mean? As opposed to the shovel by itself, which could also, the way I draw, it could be a fucking spatula. You know, it might not necessarily be a shovel. Like I said, um, the it's the idea of it. I love drawing wine glasses, Jamie. They're fun. Oval, bring it down, bring it down. Here, draw yourself a little like pseudo circle. See how I did that? And then draw the bigger thing around it. That big circle down there is too big. Not so big. You don't want it to be bigger than the top of the wine glass. Because no, I've never seen a wine glass like that. And then usually just add like a little bottom to it. And there's wine for you. And then I think the last thing I'll draw before signing off is the most important thing for the summer, at least in my house. You start with kind of an inverted, like instead of a rectangle, you bring the edges in a little bit. At the bottom, you round it off, draw some lines down, round it off again, maybe add another line. Give yourself a stripe or two. Practice your best. You can draw a sun here if you want to. And then right here, sunscreen. There you go. Important part of summertime. Important part of summertime. And then I think I'll sign off with one more thing too. We'll do some suns really quick. Some quick suns. I'm going to draw 4 sun balls here to be 4 different suns. All different ways to show via doodling how fucking hot. Easiest sun, just draw the lines around it. But that's not very, very fiery looking. You do this kind of like for drawing holly around it. That starts to look like a fiery sun. Another way you can do it is if you're using colors to draw more circles around and have it start yellow and go like from yellow to yellow-orange to orange to red, and that represents like heat. And then my favorite way to draw the sun in the summer when I hate my life is the same kind of thing, but I do a lot of these lines to make it look like really angry. But then to hammer it home, that's the sun that I hate. Yeah. Like this sun, I feel like would be like sweet and innocent looking. That sun is the sun of pain right there. Anyway, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you guys soon. I hope, and if you do any of these doodles in your bullet journal or anywhere else, post a picture in the Patron group because I want to see it. So I want to see what you guys do with some of these travel-y doodles. And if you want, we can continue this theme next month, and I can do more travel style camping, things like that, as opposed to beachy. And I have a few more beachy ones I could probably do too, but there's other things in the summer besides going to the beach. That's just what's on my mind right now. So anyway, you guys, I will talk to you later. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.